Good evening, Belize, and welcome to XTV's news broadcast for Wednesday, February 5, 2025. Making the headlines tonight, another challenge to upcoming general elections without redistricting. Officials meet with father of Gabriel Oriano, and government's acquisition of State Bank Island extension complete. We take our first break and return with the news in detail.
February
Equal Opportunities Bill. Belize, we're ready.
Welcome back with your news. I am Drea Espinosa. 32-year-old fisherman Vidal Oriano is the father of 6-year-old Gabriel Pablo Oriano, who, according to a post-mortem examination, drowned after getting away from Stella Maris School on Monday. Surveillance footage that the family gathered from different establishments along the way showed him running all along Freetown Road, onto Kelly Street, then to Wilson Street and along Princess Margaret Drive until he ended up at the area known as Hangar, where he jumped into the sea. Some people made attempts to stop him, but others merely drove on, walked past or cycled forward. The Ministry of Education called the senior Oriano to a meeting today, but he says school officials have not given him all the information he seeks, telling him they have forwarded the information to the police. In particular, Oriano is trying to establish how his son managed to escape from the school he had been attending for 2 years. He also feels the community failed his son.
The people told me they saw my son went out from the gate from 12 o'clock. He was missing. He came out.
Is it possible that he might have climbed the fence?
He cannot climb that fence because that fence, if you will go at the school and watch the fence, it has a lot of barbed wires at the top. I heard he was at Palote a amount of time there playing, I think, and no one did nothing for him. Didn't grab him or say to take him up grass or call. Nothing. And then I hear he was walking all the way around by Lychee, by Electronics, Wilson Street. Yes, I understand people call and everything, but I would appreciate them to grab him. If they may hold him, make him cry, hold him, I just hold him. If they may even tie him up and call the police, I would have glad. Then they will have to put him for rest.
What has happened since then in terms of an investigation?
For right now, I don't know anything because the school haven't told me nothing as yet. They haven't answered no question from me as yet. But I'm waiting because I want to know who was at the gate, who was supposed to be at the gate at that hour, and why the gate was left open without no one there. I don't really want no one to suffer for it or anything, but I just want justice for my little boy. That's all I want, justice, because his life can't go just like that. Because he was a good boy, he was full of life, he was loving everything, but my boy went missing under the eyes of them, and they let me down. Maybe I thought he was running, and then got lost, trying to find his way back, but how is he special? He don't really know it. Because my son is a person that if he don't recognize your face, he won't let you touch him. He'll fight because he's afraid, right? The last time I saw him, when I left him in the morning, 8:30 at school, when I kissed him, I hugged him, I told him, baby, I'm going. I have to go work. We're going to come look for you at 2 o'clock. I have to go work because your birthday they come. 25th of February was his birthday. I told him I want to try to do a party. I want to try to do something for you. Just take care. And I left her. I didn't get a call. My brother came for me. I was about to go to see. And he told me I have to go because something happened to my son. But I didn't expect that. I expect him, maybe how he likes to play, climb. I was expecting maybe he broke his hand, maybe he broke his foot, maybe he bust his head, or something happened. But I never expect him to find him dead. He doesn't go nowhere without me. Once I'm here, he will go with me, will go to me at the shop, go to me at town, go to me everywhere with bed. He will not go use bathroom if I don't go with him. He will go everywhere with me. He will stay everywhere with me. He sleep with me. Everything.
Today, the Minister of Education held meetings with the parents of Gabriel Oriano and committed that the ministry will assist with the financial costs of his burial. We caught up with him after he met with the father, Vidal Oriano.
Had a very good meeting with the father and his mother, and we discussed those issues. You're absolutely right, and I told him he has absolutely every right to want answers to those questions. You know, as a father myself, I can only imagine the pain that he is suffering as a result of this loss. So we want answers to those questions. I want answers to those questions. I am demanding answers to those questions because we have a special duty of care for these children who attend school here. I've said that over and over to everyone here. We will get answers to those questions, and I have assured the father that the Belize Police Department, when we conclude, we are working along with them to produce that report. And when that is concluded, they have a sort of interim report, and I think in a few days they'll have a final report. When that is concluded, the first people we will sit down with is the family, and to talk to them and share the report with them and answer any of the questions that they have and concerns that they have. We will not hide anything. We don't want to cover up anything. We will be 100% transparent. And yes, if there are consequences for anyone because of negligence or a failure to carry out their duties, that will have to be dealt with.
The We Walk as One Foundation, a nonprofit organization catering to children, families, and youth affected by gun violence, is calling for the public to stand in solidarity with the family of Gabriel Pablo Oriano, who passed away on Monday. The public is being asked to wear blue on Thursday to show their support. The color blue is associated with autism awareness. Gabriel was autistic. Of the movement, the foundation said via a release, quote, "Our autistic children must be protected at all costs. We must be their voice. In his memory, we are launching Wear Blue for Gabriel, a national movement to show love, support, and awareness. On February 6, 2025, we invite everyone across Belize to wear blue as a sign of unity, remembrance, and a call for better safety measures for autistic children," end quote. Other than wearing blue, the foundation is asking for the public to encourage others to do the same, to take photos while wearing blue and upload them to social media with the hashtags #BlueForGabrielle and We Walk as One Foundation. The foundation is also encouraging Belizeans to advocate for improved school safety, for autism awareness, and keep Gabriel's family in their thoughts and prayers. His father, Gabriel Oriano, says he appreciates all the support.
The support from the people that I'm getting right now, I just want to tell them thank you. Thank you from everybody that are supporting me doing the blue shirt tomorrow, February 6th, for my little son. Thank you for everything that when I do, everybody will that is trying to support me. Just want to say thanks. Thank you for everything.
In related news, the Belize National Teachers Union BNTU has released a statement declaring their support for Stella Maris School following the tragic death of 6-year-old Gabriel Pablo Oriano on Monday. The BNTU acknowledged the high emotions surrounding the tragedy and wished for God's peace to be with those affected, including family, friends, the principal, teachers, and students. Speaking to the teachers of Stella Maris School, the BNTU writes, quote, "We also want our teachers to know that their union stands firmly with them and fully supports them during this time. We will do all that is within our power to assist in ensuring they receive the counseling that is so vital for each of them to begin the recovery process," end quote. The BNTU also reflected on the good work Stella Maris has done over the years for a vulnerable group in society. The union assured the school management that this latest incident, while casting a dark cloud, will not undo the good that has been done. Finally, the BNTU called on stakeholders, education partners, and the community to reach out and assist where possible. Anand Ram Logan is a former Trinidadian attorney general who practices in Trinidad and England and who has now been called to the bar in Belize. He is the founder of Freedom Law Chambers in Trinidad and has taken up a case to challenge the constitutionality of the next general elections in Belize without a redistricting exercise. February 4th, he wrote a pre-action protocol letter addressed to the Attorney General, the Speaker of the House, and the Chairman of the Election and Boundaries Commission. The latter has the responsibility to present recommendations for redistricting to the National Assembly. This constitutional claim would be separate from the case brought by Belize Peace Movement BPM, which is challenging the constitutionality of Schedule 1 to the Representation of the People's Act, which outlines the boundaries of the different electoral divisions. Ram Logan writes of the claimants that as registered voters concerned with the rule of law, quote, the claim concerns the anticipated breach of their constitutional rights that will occur if general elections are called and held on the basis of the existing electoral district boundaries, end quote. Ram Logan affirms that before any general election can be called, the state needs to enact the proposals submitted by the Commission, quote, regarding the new redefined electoral boundaries for the electoral districts consequent upon the consent order that was made by the High Court in Action Number 55 of 2019, end quote. He notes that despite its majority in the House, the government has not ensured that Parliament debates and passes the bill. We note here that the bill remains in committee and has not been brought back for debate, and further, that leaders of both parties have expressed concerns with the bill and rejected it as a result. However, that has not been crystallized in any formal vote in the House of Representatives, and government officials have indicated that they have run out of time for a redistricting exercise. After the break, should Belize be concerned about impact of Trump actions on Belize? Stay with us.
The streetlight implementation plan is to replace
Following a high court ruling last week that went in favor of the government, the Ministry of Natural Resources has moved to complete its compulsory acquisition of the 23.4-acre extension of State Bank Island. It had the required second notice of acquisition gazetted on February 3rd. The notice cites the public purpose for acquisition as, quote, furthering objects of the State Bank Cruise Docking Facility Development Act and promoting cruise tourism in Belize through the completion of the development and infrastructure works required for the development, financing, construction, management, operation, and use of a cruise ship docking facility at the island, and the development of State Bank Island for tourism purposes, end quote. Our reports are that business owner Michael Feinstein had asked that the government wait to publish the second notice until the filing of their appeal of the High Court decision. However, we are told it is the considered view of the government that the decision cleared them to continue with the acquisition process. United States President Donald Trump has been moving pretty fast in terms of significant and impactful decisions taken since coming to office. We asked Foreign Minister Francis Fonseca if the Briceño cabinet is concerned about potential impacts on Belize.
I mean, we're always keeping aware of everything that's happening internationally, and with any new administration in the United States, obviously we pay close attention to that. That new administration will come in with new policies. And we always have to be reviewing those policies to determine how they will impact our national development. But we are absolutely confident that we will have a good working relationship with the new administration. I had a meeting in my capacity as Minister of Foreign Affairs with the new Charge d'Affaires on Monday in Belmopan, and we discussed our mutual interests. So we have a lot of shared interests, and the partnership and relationship we have with the United States is one of our most important relationships, trade and otherwise. So we are absolutely confident that we will continue to enjoy a good, positive, productive relationship with the United States of America.
Do you consider that we can face backlash for the action against Israel in relation to Palestine as it appears South Africa is facing?
Yeah, I think, listen, Belize has always, in terms of our foreign policy, adopted a very principled position. And I think that has been respected by countries across the world, including the United States of America. So, you know, I don't expect that there will be any negative impact from our decisions. We, as a country that's faced with a claim, we have always, made sure that we have our voices heard on issues of self-determination. That's critical in terms of our own legal position. So I think certainly the United States and other countries understand that, they appreciate that, they respect that. We're not anti-Israel, we're not anti-anybody, but we are pro-self-determination.
Today, we also checked if the government of Belize has received an official figure of how many Belizean migrants who are living illegally in the U.S. are on the radar of ICE.
Obviously, we have made it very clear that we will accept all Belizean citizens who are sent back. They are our people, our citizens, so we have a duty and obligation to accept them. The issue of non-citizens of Belize, that's a hypothetical. No such request has been made of Belize. If and when such a request is made, that will be a matter for the cabinet to decide.
You didn't get a figure from the Charge on how many Belizeans they are looking to send back?
Yeah, we no specific figure, but we know based on reports that we have received that they have about 96 Belizeans in custody. Okay. That those are people who have been arrested by ICE. No, they have been in custody. ICE, 96 in custody. And then, of course, there are about 891 Belizeans who are what they call non-detainees. who are people who have been given orders of removal, but did not show up back at court or that type of thing. So they are somewhere, they don't have them in custody, but they are somewhere out in the United States, the people that they are actively looking for.
Confirm that figure, because we saw that in a list that's yet unconfirmed according to us.
Yeah, that's why I said. That's why I said he did not confirm any figures. I'm just saying to you that that's the report that we received. Those are numbers. It's credible, but we, again, they are going through their process of determining exactly how accurate those numbers are. And so we keep in touch with them and engage on them, and Belize is fully committed to working with the United States government on bringing back our Belizean nationals to Belize safely and in a dignified manner.
Responding about the pre-action letter sent on behalf of 3 claimants, including Jeremy Enriquez, who are advocating for a redistricting exercise to be held before general elections are called, the law firm of Courtney Koyi LLP has written to Senior Counsel Anand Ramlogan, informing that there is no intention of the Prime Minister to announce the date of the next general elections at the House meeting on Friday. At this time, we do not know if anything has changed, but the rumors that abound are that elections will be called in March. We asked Cabinet Minister Francis Fonseca if they should reconsider the election date, given all the fires they have to out at this time, including the upset of the stevedores, teachers, firefighters, and car dealers.
I don't know about outing all these fires, but yes, our government has, over the last 4 years, we've had a very good, I think, working relationship with all the unions. So we're engaged with the CWU on the port issue with the stevedores. Minister Rekena reported to Cabinet yesterday. So I think there's a track to resolving that matter. In terms of the car dealers, again, I think a decision has already been made to put that on hold, and so that is being worked out. So I think with the firefighters, again, the minister responsible for the fire service reported to Cabinet again what engagements are taking place and what is being done. So yes, every government, that's the work of government. Every day you have some fire you have to be putting out. So we're absolutely confident that what the people of Belize see in this government is a competent government that is serious about addressing these issues. So when they arise, we address them in a very clear, decisive way. We dialogue, we do so respectfully. And I think that's what's important. And I think whenever elections are called, the Belizean people will recognize that, appreciate that, and reward us for the manner in which we conduct ourselves in government in terms of addressing all of these issues.
Do you concede, though, that your colleague, Minister Andre Perez, was very insensitive in his remarks, given that cost of living is sky high, going up, all of that, whereas salaries for ministers really cannot compare to what firefighters and the lowest paid public officers are getting, and also how it's the first time we're hearing anything about allowances for firefighters, and that being an issue when you have a government that has been saying this economy boom. What's wrong?
Yeah, well, I didn't hear what Minister Perez said, so I can't comment on what he said. But
that they should learn to survive on their base salary and stop relying on these exorbitant allowances.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear what he said. All I would say is that our government, and I can tell you this because we've discussed it in cabinet, our government recognizes the critical importance of the fire service, of the National Fire Service, critical. And we understand that the firemen and women, the fire officers who work there, are putting themselves at risk. It's a very difficult and challenging job. So, I'm absolutely confident that it will be resolved, and that I think it's something we certainly can look at. I think in the new budget to see how we can address the issue of compensation for firefighters. Very, very important service.
In other news, in September of last year, Senior Police Inspector Christopher Martinez was handed down a sentence of 5 months in prison after he pleaded guilty in August of 2024 for wounding Aaron Flowers while he was detained inside the Ladeville Police Station in June of 2023. Martinez has been released and has since been placed back on active duty. Martinez is reportedly the cousin of Commissioner of Police Chester Williams. When questioned about Martinez's return to active duty, Williams clarified that he does not possess the authority to dismiss senior officers. He also disputed allegations that he recommended Martinez to be promoted.
The commissioner is not the one who dismisses senior officers.
Okay.
That is done by
the Security
Services Commission.
Fair. Inspector Martinez is back. You have no power to dismiss him, to demote him. But you did recommend him for a promotion.
I had said to you then that because he was not yet convicted, every senior officer who met the criteria to go before the board and applied were allowed to go before the promotion board. I had also in a subsequent interview told you that he had failed the board. So how you reach at me recommending him for promotion, brother?
No, I'm saying you have another chance to do it.
Stop that fool, boy.
But sir, you've never taken a sanction against him.
So to have had him arrested and charged is not a sanction?
That's not one you instituted.
Oh, really?
You took no internal...
Jules Vasquez, man, stop it, man.
After the break, Guatemala to also accept U.S. deportees of other nationalities. Stay tuned.
safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Guatemala's President Bernardo Arevalo met today with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. As we have reported, Rubio is meeting with some countries in the region this week. After the meeting, Arevalo announced that Guatemala will accept migrants from other countries being deported from the United States. With this, Guatemala becomes the second Central American country to agree to do so, after El Salvador announced the same on Monday, under what is being dubbed the, quote, safe third country. Arevalo said the deportees would then be returned to their home countries at U.S. expense. Of the agreement, Arevalo said, quote, we have agreed to increase by 40% the number of flights of deportees, both of our nationality, as well as deportees from other nationalities. Guatemala has been cooperating in receiving deportees from the United States, accepting both civilian and military flights. But Trump's promised mass deportation from the United States would hit Guatemala hard, as remittances make up about 1/5 of the country's gross domestic product. While deportee flights have returned illegal migrants from the U.S. to a few countries in the Americas, Belize awaits to hear word when or if we are to receive such flights. There are rumored to be as many as 899 Belizeans who are to be deported, but that has yet to be confirmed. Regardless, government officials, including the Prime Minister, Minister of Home Affairs, and the Commissioner of Police, have all said those Belizeans would be welcomed. The attorney for the Alliance for Democracy leader, Tracy Panton, has written to the attorney for Moses Ashine Barrow to suggest reconsidering mediation at this juncture. Senior counsel Ellis Arnold states on behalf of Panton, quote, we believe that mediation would be beneficial to the parties and alleviate the need for any further protracted litigation with costs attendant to same, end quote. He advises that his clients had already filed a notice of selection of a mediator, identifying Deborah Swift or Consuelo Godfrey as possible mediators from the list of court-connected mediators. The parties are set to be back in court on Friday for the contempt of court hearing. Many are viewing this development as a signal that Panton wants to abandon the fight to determine who is the real UDP. However, she subsequently posted on social media that they are pressing forward and that Lee Mark Chang will run in mess-up. Reports coming from the north are that a man was chopped in Guinea Grass Orange Walk sometime last night. Not many details are known at this time, but reports are that the man was at a birthday party when he got into an argument with another individual. The feud turned physical and the other person chopped the man to his hand. He was quickly transported to the Northern Regional Hospital for treatment around 9:30. Police are investigating. Meanwhile, reports are that residents of Santa Clara Corozal last night captured a burglar in the act of trying to enter a building in the village. Residents of Santa Clara and neighboring villages had been complaining for a few weeks that someone had been breaking into their homes, including those of elderly residents, and stealing their possessions, which range from hammocks to cell phones. Many were complaining that they reported the issue to police, but claimed that nothing was done. However, last night the residents took action into their own hands and chased after the man and subdued him until police arrived. The man was observed with injuries to his wrists, but residents said that the injuries were self-inflicted when he was trying to break into his latest target. Police are investigating. And a 61-year-old security officer from San Pedro and Burgers Key has been detained in an ongoing investigation in an alleged case of bigamy, or being married to two people at the same time. The man's first wife, 50-year-old Anastasia Garcia of Guinea Grass, Orange Walk reported to police that she discovered her husband had remarried someone else after separating from her. But while still legally married to her, Anastasia said, the couple had married in 1997 in Guinea Grass, but during an incident years later when the couple had moved to Benqueviejo del Carmen, where he had to replace his lost documents, she discovered that he had given her the false name of Javier Garcia. In 2010, the couple moved back to Guinea Grass, but Garcia moved to San Pedro for work shortly after. And by 2013, he informed Anastasia that he'd like to separate. In 2015, Anastasia reported that she found out he had remarried on the island in 2014. When confronted, Garcia denied the allegations. Anastasia then confirmed his marital status at the registry department, where she discovered that he did remarry while still legally married to her as well. She then subsequently requested divorce several times since 2016, which he failed to file. Anastasia then made a formal police report. Since then, authorities have discovered documents including marriage certificates, social security documents, and others for the man under 2 names. And with that, we have come to the end of our newscast. A repeat can be viewed on the station later tonight at 9 and tomorrow at midday. Join us again tomorrow for another news broadcast. I am Drea Espinosa. Have a safe and enjoyable evening.